Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Well, I'm back in the car. I'm home and I am vlogging back in the car again. I'm sure many of you are happy. Get off that hotel room floor. We're so happy you're not there anymore. No. I had such a good time this weekend. I was telling Alex that sometimes when we take these little trips, they seem so long and they're so refreshing, but it's hard to kind of get back into the groove of things. We had such a good time. So let's see, I'll tell you what I did today and then just kind of ramble on a little bit. We got up today at about 11, maybe 11:30, and I took a quick shower and changed, and we had packed and got all of our stuff ready last night. I packed after I got done vlogging last night while the vlog was uploading, and I just was like, did I post my vlog today? I had it all ready last night when I went to bed, and I just was like, did I forget? Because I had forgotten to post it, and I think I posted it as soon as I landed in Indianapolis. But and then we checked out, and they held our bags for us because we didn't have to leave downtown Dallas till 2-ish. And because our flight didn't leave till 4:30. And then we walked to this brunch restaurant that they recommended called Over Easy that was at the Statler Hotel, which was right down the street. I think it's the Statler or Stratler Hotel. It's one of those. This little place was so cute. It was called Over Easy, like eggs over easy, you know? And it was a brunch place. And we had such a fantastic waiter. He was so nice. And so we sat out there. Alex, we got avocado toast, which I only had one piece of. He had the rest of it. I'm not a big fan of avocado. I haven't been a big fan of avocado toast until today. And then I had a piece of it, and it was so delicious. I think I might start ordering that a little bit more often. So we got the avocado toast, and then I wanted these lemon ricotta pancakes, but I wasn't super, super hungry. So I got an omelet, and it was some different kind of cheese. I was a little worried about it again. I was like, okay, is this gonna be some weirdo kind of omelet like I had had the day before? But it wasn't. It was really good. It was very fluffy eggs. It was delicious, and the cheese was good in it. And it came with a little side salad that had this vinaigrette on it that reminded me of pâte choux. It was good. And then, let's see. Oh, then I got it was 3 biscuits. And I thought they were gonna be kind of small since it was 3 biscuits in there. What is on my shirt? There's something on my shirt. It was $7 or $9. And it came with honey and preserves and butter. But they were these big biscuits, and they were delicious. I could have eaten those by myself, or not by myself, but I could have eaten them alone. I ended up having 2, and that was out of the 3, that was hard for me to eat 2 out of the 3. Alex is not a biscuit eater, so he didn't want one. They were so good, and I had them with butter. Well, I had one half with the jam on it. It was berry jam. But the other ones I had with honey. I love honey so much on stuff. So I had, and the butter was really good too. So I had these biscuits with butter and honey, except for one half. Anyway, and then Alex had I think he had a cheeseburger again. Or maybe he had a patty melt, I can't remember. And we both had coffee. And I had a huge glass of orange juice that was delicious. I've been drinking orange juice like crazy lately. And then he went inside to go use the restroom right before we were leaving, and this girl came over. Only time it happened in all of our trip, the entire time that we were in Dallas, this girl walked over and she was like, my boyfriend and I were getting ready to leave, and I had to say something to you. She was like, I watch all your videos. I love your videos. And she was like, I recognized you because of the hat and the sunglasses, because I had my key sunglasses on. And she was so friendly. So Reardon, thank you for coming. Her name was Reardon. So thank you for coming up and saying hi. And she was super friendly. We stood there and talked for a couple minutes, and then she sent me a message on Twitter, and she was like, thank you so much for being so friendly. I was like, oh. It was so nice. She was like, well, you say that nobody ever comes up to you, so I thought I would try to make your day. I said, you totally made my day. I really appreciate it. And so I sat there and babbled on a little bit. I always ask people, I'm like, am I different in person than you thought? She's like, no, you're exactly the same. She's like, you're exactly what I thought you'd be like. So I was asking her, like, what other channels she watches, and she was telling me that stuff, and she was super, super friendly. But anyway, yeah, so we did that, and then we walked back to the hotel. The area that we stayed in was interesting, because it was, like, downtown, Dallas, but there weren't, like, a lot of, like, bars and restaurants around our hotel. Otherwise, what was attached to hotels. It was kind of dead. Is it going out of focus? It kind of reminded me a little bit of this area of Louisville that we stay in, which is where, like, the 24C Hotel is at, which is, like, this art... I don't even know if it's there anymore. I'm sure it is. But it's, like, this art hotel, and they have, like, a gallery in it, and they have this hotel. They have this restaurant. I think the restaurant is called Proof, and it's like this very cool restaurant. But that area of Louisville has like nothing around it. Like there's nothing else around it. It's like downtown, and it's an interesting, there's like a bar right across the street, but other than that, there's like nothing. And there's like a theater or something down the street. Alex and I actually walked around that area one day, because like we've stayed there like twice, I think, and there's an area of Louisville that we really like, which is called like the Highlands, and it's where like they have like a lot of vintage shops and cute little restaurants and stuff. So if you're ever in Louisville, go to the Highlands area. But I mean, I've been going to Louisville since I was 20 years old. First time I ever went to Louisville, Kentucky was for National Entertainer of the Year. It's a national drag pageant that was that's at, what do you call it? It was at the Connection, which no longer exists. They still have the pageant down there, but it's at the Horseshoe Casino, I think, now, the final night. What was interesting was last night, this bar that we were going into, they had this, like, big poster of all these drag queens that were there, and Tasha Cole was one of them, and I was like, oh my God, Tasha Cole was a National Entertainer of the Year, like, in 1985 or something, and she's still performing. She's incredible. I've seen her perform a couple of times, so... maybe like 2 or 3 times. She's kind of a big deal, though. I don't know that I knew that she was from Texas. Maybe she hasn't been all this time. I don't know. Anyway, it kind of reminded me of that, and it also kind of reminded me of Atlanta a little bit, like where we stayed in Atlanta, which I think was like the Marriott or something. I'm half tempted to get something at this McDonald's, but I don't know that I really want to go through. And somebody is texting me. I'm not sure that I don't feel like driving through. I might go get one later, because I'm going to listen to my audiobook later. I decided on my next audiobook is going to be All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. I think that's what it's called, because it's coming out on Netflix, and I've wanted to read it forever. It's a young adult book. I think I actually might have the physical copy book at home. But anyway, it's a really popular book, and it's coming out as a movie on Netflix on the 28th, and it's with this guy and this girl, and I don't know, they're going through something, and so they kind of like help each other out, but it takes place at all of these famous locations in Indiana, and I thought, well, that would be interesting to read, you know, especially driving around listening to it. So I'm gonna start listening to that. So yeah, we did that, and but it kind of just reminds me of those kind of areas. Dallas was a fun city. I had a good time in Dallas. No offense to people that live in Dallas, and I'm sure I didn't see everything, but it wasn't a city that like absolutely just like wowed me. Like I would have to move here tomorrow. There's very few cities that do that to me. And even Miami, it wasn't like that. You know, when I first started going down there, I didn't. Like actually, when we first started going to South Florida, I wanted to be in Fort Lauderdale first, because it was slower and all that kind of stuff. And then Alex was very resigned to being in Fort Lauderdale and just like driving the distance if we wanted to go out for a weekend or whatever. We were also thinking about like Hollywood, Aventura, those areas of Florida. And then I don't remember what time it was. We like went to Miami one weekend and we like did a lot of like walking around like the South Beach area. We stayed in South Beach and I just was like, I think it was the first year that we went for Ultra and like stayed extra. Because I think the first year we like got there early and then we left like, if Ultra was over on Sunday, we left on like Tuesday early. So we only had like one day. But I think it was the second year that we went and we got there on like Wednesday or Thursday because it starts on Friday. And we stayed like an extra week. And that was the year that I was like, I want to live in Miami. Because I got to see a lot of it. We went to Doji's and stuff like that. So yeah, it takes a lot for me to go to a city and be like, this is where I want to be. Or I could imagine myself living here or having a place here. That doesn't happen to me very often. Or I'd want to come back a lot too. Like Dallas was fun, but, and maybe it was because of, I mean, we went out a lot, which was fine, but like, I just don't love that, you know? And we were gonna, like going out to dinner was fun. We went to this, the restaurant that we went to was really nice on Saturday night. It was called St. Anne's, I think. That was fun. And then we went to this kind of like loungy little bar. But even that, like if we had gone back to the hotel after that, I would have been completely fine. I don't know, it just seemed like a night out in Indianapolis to me. It was like nothing like, you know, wow. Like even Los Angeles, which I wasn't like sold on, I felt like that like West Hollywood area was really, it was really cute and it was really exciting. I don't know, like I guess I would have to go back to Dallas and see different parts of it. So it was fun, but it was really good to see our friends, and we had a good time at the wedding, and then we had a good time like going out with our friends. Last night was a lot of fun. You know, I'm just not like, when I started dating Alex, I was 36 and he was 24, and his friend that we met, well, he's our friend, but he was Alex's friend back then, had just turned 22, like the month before. So he was young, you know, and like we would go out and we would like bar hop and stuff like that, and I could kind of keep up with it. I can't keep up with it the way that I used to be able to keep up with it, nor do I really care to keep up with it, you know, like last night Alex was like, I mean, babe, like whenever you're ready to go, let me know. And I said, you know, like I am perfectly fine to get in an Uber and go back to the hotel. Like you guys can stay out. Like that is not, I don't have a problem with that. And he was like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, like if I'm ready to go back, I'll go back. But I stayed out the duration. And bars close early in Dallas, so. And it was fun. I mean, it was fun meeting new people and talking to people and stuff like that, but I don't miss being single. I will say that. Yeah, it's just, and I saw a lot of people that were like my age out that were like super intoxicated. And, because I kind of thought to myself, like, would this be me if I was, like, single at my age? Like, had I not gotten sober, you know? Like, I don't know. But it was a fun time. We had a good time. The hotel that we stayed at, if you're ever looking for a place in Dallas, the Jewel is amazing. I mean, absolutely amazing. I was so floored with it. The whole hotel was gorgeous. And I think it used to be a bank. And I was like reading about it before we went there. And because I always do like a lot of research on like whatever hotel I want to stay in. And it was an old bank that they converted into a hotel. And everything inside of it, I wanted to do like a tour for my review channel, but I didn't get around to it because we had other stuff that we were doing today. But everything about it was gorgeous. Not just the rooms. I mean, the rooms were phenomenal, but and all the detail, like, you know, just like the blinds opening and how they did, like they were on like motors, and the bathroom was ginormous, and the shower like was incredible, and I mean everything about it was so nice. But like when you walk downstairs, there was like a coffee shop in there that was like a very like natural coffee shop that had like pressed juices, and it just was a really cool, it felt like a local coffee shop inside the hotel. And it was kind of like a mix between like modern, like that area had like all this glass and stuff, kind of modern, to also then very much like what you would imagine like a bank to be, like maybe in the 40s, with like, you know, velvet couches and leather couches, or velvet chairs and leather couches, and like very cool artwork. They had this whole hall that when you walk down it was all like these mosaic things on the wall. And like Alex was like, he kept on saying, he was like, this hallway would never get old. Like it was fantastic, and the floor was all mosaics. It just was a really, really cool hotel. You would never have had to have left the hotel and had a great time. Like they had a couple restaurants that were pretty good, except for the one place that we had brunch. It wasn't horrible, it just wasn't like the best in the world. And then the bar that we went to last night to meet our friend was downstairs, called the Midnight Rambler, and that was cute. And they played like a lot of like old rock music, like Johnny Cash and stuff. That place that we went to today played the same kind of music, interestingly enough. And then there was another restaurant in there, and they had a store that had all kinds of cool stuff. It just was fun. So we did that, and then, so anyway, today we flew back, we got to the airport, and got through all of our stuff. I will tell you that like having TSA pre-check is such a lifesaver. It just is so quick, and it's so cheap. Like Alex had it before me. He paid like, when he got it, he was like, it's like $85 for 5 years or something. Although I think the next time we're gonna get the one that's like the international one, which not all places have, but some, like Mexico has it. It's called like Clear or something like that. I can't remember. Somebody in the comment section below can say what it is, because they know what it is. So anyway, got on our plane, flew back. The Dallas airport is gorgeous, by the way. I mean, it's a really nice airport. And I bought a bunch of candy. I bought just a bunch of crap. Peanut M&Ms and those goldfish crackers. And I got a Dr. Pepper, and Alex, I got him a Coke. And I got him, he wanted gummy bears, and I got him some of those goldfish crackers. Well, I got him them first because he loves them, and then I got myself a bag. Then we got on the plane, and we were sitting like aisle in aisle, and I sat next to these two women. Okay, so I don't know if I talked about this on my other vlogs, but this weekend, Oprah was in Dallas, and I didn't know that. So Oprah's doing this tour of like an inspiration tour, and it's like 10 cities or something, 12 cities, I think, maybe. I think the first speaker was Lady Gaga. Now, the way that I found out about it was because somebody or her, because I follow her on Twitter, she rarely ever posts, but somebody or Oprah posted this video on Twitter of Oprah going backstage and talking to Lady Gaga after she was done, and like almost crying and being like, oh my God, thank you, thank you, thank you, and all this kind of stuff. And what it is it's like this whole day. Okay, so we sat next, so I saw people carrying these Oprah bags around Dallas, and I was like, oh my God, that Oprah inspirational speaking thing is here. And I was like pissed. I was like, I really wanted to see that had I known, which I'm sure there was no way I would have gotten tickets at the last minute, right? And these women that I talked to today, they paid $275 for their tickets. They said there was all different kinds of price ranges, but they said that like it was totally worth it. So it was from like 9 to 3, she said. The woman I was sitting next to, they were so nice. These two women I sat next to, they were telling me everything about it. We like became like quick friends. I told her at the end, I said, I've become that person that doesn't shut up on a plane, which I'm sure for all of you is really hard to believe. But anyway, I was sharing my treats with her though, so she didn't mind. She was really friendly and really sweet, and they were telling me everything about it, and so Oprah has like music that starts and it's supposed to get everybody like pumped up to be like inspired, and then she comes out and she speaks and talks about, it's like very like soulful, I can't remember what the Soulful Sundays thing is called, but Soulful Sundays and, you know, all that aha moments. They didn't say that, but I said something about it. They were like, yeah, like the aha moments. And she comes out and then she introduces the speaker, and the speaker was Tracy Ross. Somebody had said something to us about it last night because they were like, oh, Diana Ross. I was like, Diana Ross? And they were like, she was like, no, Tracy Ross, who I love equally. And, but they said, somebody last night told us they had gone to it, but I didn't know it was like the same thing or whatever. And these women, like, they went into detail and told me all about it. So, they were like, yeah, Tracy Ross was incredible. And they were saying like all the stuff that, she talked about, and how inspiring and motivational it was, and that they wanted to go something at the beginning of the year to really inspire them for 2020 and all this kind of stuff. It just was very cool. So we talked about that, and we talked about other stuff, got to know each other before the plane took off. And then we had the little TV screens, and I had already downloaded Joker on my phone. So imagine that I was bitter when I'm flipping through the movies on the plane, and Joker is one of them, but I was like, whatever, because I'm going to watch it on this rather than my phone. So I watched Joker. I didn't finish all of it. I have, I think like 45 minutes left of it, 47 minutes. I like looked right at the time to see how much time I have left of it. It's really good. Very interesting. Not what I expected. Kind of what I expected, but not what I expected. Like, had I gone and seen it when it first came out, like, it would have been nothing like what I expected. But now that I've heard other people talk about it, it is somewhat what I expect. But the thing is that, and I'm not done with it yet, I don't know. So, but I'm very confused about, if you've seen it, and this won't ruin it for you if you haven't, I don't think it really makes a difference. Like, Alex was trying to explain it to me, but I'm very confused about the references to Batman in the movie. Like, it being Gotham City, and Bruce Wayne. Isn't Bruce Wayne Batman? And so Alex, like, they say all these things that are Batman things, right? I mean, I don't know that much about Marvel Comics or Batman or all that kind of stuff. Is it even Marvel Comics? I don't know. But I do know that Bruce Wayne and Batman and Gotham and all that kind of, okay, I know enough of that. I've seen the movies. So, I said to Alex, I said, well, I don't understand. And he goes, well, this is how the Joker got started. And I go, so this is like a prerequisite to like the other movies? Like, this is, oh, is it out of focus? I can't really see. Okay, I can't see things super close up. It is out of focus. Stupid camera. Okay. And he was like, yeah, he was like, but I don't really understand why they did it either. He was like, I don't, like, at the beginning, I thought it was like New York City. Like, I missed the Gotham reference, and then they said it again later, and I was like, Gotham. And then I was like, I'm confused. Like, are we, it's gonna stop, hold on a second. Okay. I was like, I'm confused. Are we doing like a Batman thing, or is this about something else? Or is this just explaining how this character got this way? And will there be more films like this explaining how like the other villains got to be this way? The other thing that was interesting to me, and I'm not done with the movie, okay, so I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but is that I had heard these movies, or I had heard all these people talking about how this movie was about, and I guess it does. I guess it does have this aspect to it, but I'm confused. That a lot of people were talking about how this movie had like this huge mental health element to it, which it does. I mean, it has a huge mental health element to it, right? But he has a neurological disorder resulting from abuse. So, I'm confused. He also has mental health issues, and there's like all kinds of stuff, right, that they address in the movie. I will say this, when you want to talk about, like, I was I kept on looking for the word while I was like watching it, like method acting, you know, like when we talk about like back in the day, like this idea of method acting where you literally get in the character. I mean, Joaquin Phoenix, he becomes the character. Like when you physically see him, what was the movie that years ago with the guy that was in, Christian Bale was in that movie, The Machinist, do you remember that? And he lost something like 100 pounds or 80 pounds or something like that to do the role. And you hear people that do this kind of stuff, right? Like, Hilary Swank did the same thing with Boys Don't Cry. Like, they become method actors. Like, they go into the character. They become the character. So, like, even when they're not on set, they're, like, that person, right? Like, and you can understand to some degree how dangerous that would be, right? Like, especially since these people that we're talking about, there's, like, a lot of issues there. But Joaquin Phoenix, like, I already felt like he deserved the Oscar, and I hadn't even seen the movie, you know? But, like, he really deserved the Oscar. Like, it was unbelievable. I mean, his acting is unbelievable in the movie. There's some scenes that are just... woman that plays his mom, she's been in several episodes of, or several seasons of American Horror Story. She's fantastic. She's been in some other, she's a character actress. She's been in some other things too. Here's my new lip gloss. This is my Sprite lip gloss. Are you ready? It's like from when you were a kid. I bought it and reviewed it for my review channel. Look at that. It's really good. Yeah, but I didn't finish that, so I'm going to finish that sometime this week. Well, I mean, I have it on my phone downloaded, so why not, right? I told Alex, I said, you know, whenever we have these, like, super long flights, we don't even have, like, the TV screens on our, you know what I mean? But then we, like, other times... we have like a 2-hour, it was really short coming back. I mean, it was a very nice flight, but it was literally 2 hours, like from takeoff and landing, which is supposed to be like a 3-hour trip, I thought. But anyway, it's always shorter coming back. So it was literally 2 hours, and yeah, it was 2 hours, and I don't know what I was gonna say. But there were like all these movies I wanted to see. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I wanted to see. I don't know, there were just all these movies I want. Judy, I really want to see Judy. I don't know if I've ever talked about this on here before, but I was like a huge Wizard of Oz fan when I was a kid. Like, that movie for me was like the movie when I was growing up. I was like obsessed with it. And Sound of Music. Sound of Music too. Even though I don't really like musicals, but I don't really like Sound of Music for the music. I mean, I did like the music, but I like Sound of Music for like the story and Maria and all this kind of stuff. So now that we're back, it's countdown time to going to visit Mel in Arizona. And, okay, this is so funny because people were like, weren't you worried staying in a hotel after Shane's conspiracy video about the cameras in the room and all this kind of stuff? Okay, so let me tell you how I feel about that, first of all. I mean, if there's cameras in the room, what am I supposed to do about it? Like, I don't, I mean, I think it is scary and it kind of freaks me out, but at the same time, like, no, I didn't think about it. And I mean, I really just didn't think about it. I was like, I mean, I don't, you know what I mean? But the other thing, I mean, if there's people recording me, then I guess they're recording me. I mean, I don't know what else to say about that, you know what I mean? But I can't do anything about that, so. But on the heels of that, I am having like a hard time figuring out where I want to stay in Arizona, in Phoenix. Because I really wanted to stay in Scottsdale. And I really wanted to stay at like a resort like the Phoenician or, you know, one of those like big golf resorts with the rooms that open right up. But the thing is, is that the rooms there, honest to God, range, like, at those resorts, range from $500 to $750 a night. And I'm just not doing it. I'm just like, that to me is, I mean, ridiculous for a weekend, you know? Plus, I was talking to Mel today, and she's like, I was like, how warm do you think it'll be there in a couple weeks? And she's like, I mean, in the 70s. And I was like, warm enough to swim? And she was like, yeah, probably not. And she was like, and bring a hoodie and closed-toe shoes in the evening because it gets cold. So, and I mean, we're just hanging out, so I don't need something like that big of a deal for that, you know what I mean? So, I kind of narrowed it down. I did find a hotel that I really, really like. That's pretty close to her, actually, too. But I started looking at one Airbnb, which I've never Airbnb'd anything, I don't think. Have I? Maybe Alex and I did one time. But I started looking around on Airbnb, and I was like, you know, would it be smarter for me to get an Airbnb? And when I looked, without putting the dates in, it would have been, like, way smarter. I could have, like, a 4-bedroom house, like, extravagant house, okay? With this incredible pool and hot tub to myself. I was like, I'll be freaked to stay there by myself. Like, I won't want to stay there by myself. I told Mel that. She was like, why would you be afraid to stay by yourself? I'm like, I don't know. I just would, you know? So, anyway. And some of them are pretty close to where she lives, too. And so I was like, well, because, you know, we're going to be, like, filming and, like, talking about our possible podcast and doing some, like, work for the book club and some just kind of, like, hanging out. And so I said to her, I said, like, because we're going to hang out at, you know, her place, too. And I was like, if I get, you know, like, I was thinking if I got an Airbnb, then, you know, you can come over and hang out there too, but, like, I don't want to be, like, rude because, you know, like, I'm coming, you know, to Arizona to hang out at your place too. And she's like, oh, no, not at all. And then that would give, like, her husband, like, that he could just kind of, like, do his thing over the weekend and have the place. And then, you know, like, of course I'm going to meet her husband. We're going to go out to dinner and stuff like that. But, like, it wouldn't, like, she and I could just do our thing, and it, you know what I mean? And she was like, that would actually be kind of a good idea. Like, that would be smart, you know? So I was like, okay, maybe I will do an Airbnb. So then I put the dates in, and it completely changed the prices. Like, these places I had looked at went from, like, $200 a night or $95 a night, because some of them were $95 a night. And I was like, okay, $95 a night with cleaning, and these were, like, 3-bedroom homes that had pools. I was like, $95 a night, you know, with a service fee and all that kind of stuff together. It came to, like, no lie, it came to, like, $600-700. I was like, this is amazing. Right here is what we're gonna do. Because I'm gonna rent a car too on there, so I can kind of, like, do what I want to do, and don't have to rely on her. I don't want her to feel bad about that. I'm so excited. We have talked. She and I have been talking about this nonstop. Like, I'm so excited. I cannot wait. Like, Alex was so sweet to do this and plan this whole thing. I'm so excited. So anyway, so then I put the prices back in Airbnb, and they were super expensive. Like, it literally shot from, like, I would be looking at a house that would be, like, $95 a night, which for me, comparable to a $500 hotel room, is nothing. I mean, I think that that's fantastic, right? But it would go up to, like, $600, $700 a night. I'm like, I'm not doing that. Like, I don't need that I don't need that much house, right? But then I didn't want to just get an apartment, because I'm like, if I'm going to pay, I might as well, you know, whatever. So I'm going to get on there and continue to look. Now, I will tell you this, what's interesting is that I was looking up, like, when do prices start going down for Airbnbs? And actually, between now and, like, when I'm leaving is when they start going down. So I may wait till the very last minute to book something, but my fear is that if I do that, I might get really high rates too. So we'll just see, but I think I'm gonna, like, book something at the last minute. I think I'm gonna wait. And last minute for me, it means probably this week, because I'll get too excited and don't want to do it. But I don't know, I might see. So I think I'm either gonna do this one hotel that I found, or I think I'm gonna do an Airbnb. But Mel and I both think it would be fun to do an Airbnb. You know, we could hang out there, make a pot of coffee, and just kind of, like, sit around and stuff like that. So yeah, it's gonna be really fun. I'm super excited about it. And then, like, 2 weeks after that, we get back, we're leaving for Miami, which is crazy. And then like April, we're not going anywhere. And then May, we have Las Vegas. Alex, tonight when we got off the plane, we were like going through our trips. And he was like, I mean, unless you want to go somewhere in April. I was like, I mean, we can go somewhere, but it's going to have to be like a cheap trip, somewhere where you want to go. He was like, I don't know, just somewhere for like a long weekend or something. I'm like, sure, let's look into it, we'll see. Tomorrow, I pick up my pups, and I cannot wait. I keep on pulling up this same holiday lip balm, and I don't want this. I really wanted my shiny lip balm. Oh, found it. Oh, found it. I wanted the red, and I found the red. I have like 4 of these at home. One of them I have to give to Tanya. But tomorrow I get to pick up the pups. I'm so excited. I miss Boo and Tucker so bad. It's so weird though, I will tell you. Coming home without PP. It's just so weird. And you know, when we come in, like Alex has the picture, so like the first thing you see when you walk in is PP. And like we walked in the house and he walked in ahead of me and he was like, hi PP. And it completely caught me off guard when he said it. And I had a couple moments. There was like one moment this weekend when Alex was in bed and he was like looking at videos of PP and he was showing me and I just was like, he was like, are you okay? And I said, I can't do this right now. Like, I just don't want to be really sad right now. He was like, that's fine, babe. I just feel like such a gigantic loss, you know? And then coming home, I mean, you know, they wouldn't have been there anyway today, but like coming home and just knowing that I'm not going to be getting him tomorrow, it just seems surreal. But Boo and Tucker are coming home. They're getting baths tomorrow. They're not getting grooms because they got grooms. Did they get grooms? I think they either got grooms after Miami in November, or they got grooms after Mexico. I can't remember. Maybe was it Mexico? They don't really, here's the thing. They only need to get groomed like every 3 months. Now, every time they go, they get baths and nail trims. And sometimes in between, I take them in there and give them baths and nail trims. Boo Radley hates getting a bath. He hates it, hates it, hates it, hates it, hates it. Because sometimes we'll give him baths at home, like if, you know, they get into something. Oh, my Lord. Well, Boo Radley's my little adventurer, so he likes to go into the woods and get stuff in, you know, like roll in the goose poop and all that. It's gross. And so I'll have to, like, take him downstairs and wash him, and he acts all confident walking up to the to the house. He's like, yep, rolling in the goose poop. And then I like pick him up and I scoop him up and take him downstairs. We have like in our basement, we have like one of those big wash basins, you know, like those big like big huge sinks for like, it's like this deep, you know what I'm talking about? It's like this deep. And so I'll like wash him in there and like he'll like stand up on the edge of it. And he's just like, he hates it. He hates it so much. I'm like, well, Boo, this is what happens because you got in the goose poop, Boo. What can I tell you? Shouldn't have gotten the goose poop, but you did. Tucker doesn't mind it though. Tucker, we call it the spa. Tucker likes to go to the spa. He's fancy like that. PP really never minded it either. I miss them so much. I kind of don't really know what to do with like all of the clothes and hats and all that kind of stuff. Like, I mean, the hats would fit Boo and Tucker, but it kind of feels weird, honestly, like using them on them in a video. I might, I don't know. And it doesn't feel right to just throw all that those clothes away that PP had, like, but at the same time, it's like, what do I want to keep it for? Just to look at? I mean, I'll bring out a little shirt and look at it, you know? Like, I found it, like, well, I was doing a review video and I found his aviator sunglasses, and I just, like, after that video was done, I just lost it. I just was like, I don't know, it just seems so weird to me. And I think we live in a world today where we have, like, video on our phone that you can, like, look at somebody or, you know, something like a pet, and it's like, the video almost feels so real that it's like you're gonna see them tomorrow, you know? I don't know. So now I'm back, and tomorrow I'm going to get back to my regularly scheduled video schedule, which means posting on all of my channels tomorrow. And then picking up the dogs in the afternoon, and then nothing tomorrow evening. And then Tuesday, what do I have on Tuesday? I don't know. And Wednesday, I don't know. No, I do, like, the funny thing is, I do have stuff I have to do this week. And now I can't remember what it is. I'm gonna turn around. I want to start listening to this audiobook. Has anybody read this book, All the Bright Places by Jennifer Newman? She has a couple books out. It's supposed to be really good. I was, like, actually reading, I have read the synopsis for the book many times. I was gonna say a million times, but no. Maybe 3 or 4. And, Dream Anywhere, Play Here, the lottery. That little gas station is always so cute to me. It's like this little gas station on this 4-way stop in the middle of nowhere. But I was reading the synopsis on Netflix. Now, I don't remember reading the book synopsis and it saying anything about Indiana. But when I was reading the Netflix synopsis, I hope they haven't changed it and the book has nothing to do with Indiana, and then there I am reading about it. It's whatever, but it's a book. But it's gonna be hard for me to go from, like, serial killer stuff to, like, light and fluffy young adult. Like, I'm gonna have a hard time with that. Plus, that wasn't necessarily what I wanted my next book to be. I had, like, other books that I wanted to read next, you know what I mean? Like scary books. So, anyway, that's my next book that I'm gonna read, and I am back, and it actually feels nice to be in the car vlogging again, but I'm actually gonna make this a shorter vlog tonight so I can start listening to the audiobook, and I'm gonna get off here now. So, I love you guys, and thank you for watching. I hope you guys are having an amazing Monday, unless you have other plans, but like I always say, don't have other plans. Make the most of your day, and is it out of focus right now? I can't tell. I have to, like, pull back to see because of my new contacts. Anyway, I hope you guys are having an amazing Monday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, don't have other plans. Make the most of your day. Do something really fun today. Do something really exciting. Start a new project. Always start a new project. Why not, right? And I'm starting new projects all the time. I'm sure you are very well aware of that, and you know. I'm sure you know and are very well aware. And do something today that will make yourself proud 5 or 10 years down the road when you look back on this day. Consciously ask yourself, what am I doing today that's gonna make myself proud down the road? And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day and you say, I love you. Oh my God, this is so weird. I love you. You are valuable, because I'm in the mirror again. Get it? See? I love you. You are valuable. You are important. You matter. You are worthy. You are worthy of good things. You are beautiful. You are handsome. Today is going to be an amazing day. And 2020 is your year. and you are gonna be successful this year, and you're gonna accomplish your dreams, and you're gonna have an amazing year. In an amazing life. And filled with love and surrounded by love. And positivity. And I'm not popping up anymore. Or am I? Anyway, and most importantly, make sure that you pass it on to somebody else and let them know how important they are to you, how much they love you. Let them know how much you love them, or they love you, whatever. You know what I'm saying. And let them know how much that you love them and how much they mean to you, and just, you know, hey, it's good to talk to you. Haven't talked to you in a while. I just want you to know you really impacted my life in a positive way. Thank you. I'm forever grateful for that. We could do that a little bit more, right? And do that, and do some random acts of kindness, and just pick out somebody and let them know how much you love them today. And I love you guys. Thank you for watching. It means the world to me. I really, really appreciate it, especially for you OG Wolfpackers that have been around from the very beginning. And I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya. Love ya. Bye. Love ya. And because I know there's one person out there that needs to hear an extra I love you, this one is specifically for you. I love you. Bye.